neighborhood party over there.
We can't say anything.
You're listening to Surfing the Cosmic Waves Radio. Time to listen in to your host, Sonic Nova. Coming at you live from Spreaker Internet Radio, where we put a new spin on spiritual development and paranormal activities.
Welcome everybody to another live streaming of being here with Surfing the Cosmic Waves Radio with Sonic Nova. And today I have two of my favorite people in the world, my besties friends and also psychics. They're professional psychics on Uranum and off of Uranum. And I'm going to introduce you right now, Cloud Song and Wings of Topaz. And we're all hanging out here together today on a 4th of July weekend here in the U.S. But if you're getting this abroad, this holiday doesn't mean anything to you. So, hey, we're going to talk today about the quantum field, quantum energy, how to create the quantum field, how to put in the quantum field what you want to manifest, and spiritually speaking, how you can do quantum healings in the quantum field. So we're gonna basically talk about all these different things now. So, guys, how are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
How are you, Wings?
Awesome.
Yay! So today we're gonna talk about all these different things, and it was kind of trippy because Amber, Wings of Topaz, was telling me that she posted on her phone yesterday. Was it? That she put something...
Yeah, it was just last night.
Last night, and you put quantum what? She showed me.
It's a background of a Native American woman. Whoops. And it says quantum radio at the top.
Wow.
And we're doing it right now. And I did it subconsciously, I guess.
That's awesome. All
How
right.
it always works.
Yeah, it does. So the subjects that we're going to talk about today, and I brought my two friends here, is what's up with the quantum field today. And what's up with the quantum field, not just on a national level, but on a global level and maybe even a galactic level. Should we talk about that? Does that sound pretty cool?
Sounds fabulous.
Okay, cool. So we were earlier, before we got on the radio show, we were talking about how to manifest things, whether it's relationship or, myself and Wings were not Wings, actually. Cloud Song. Cloud and I were talking about, how the economy's really slow. And we were talking about her own personal life and how things have really slowed down for her. So I want us to do an experiment here. How's that sound, you guys? And what we're going to do, we're all very advanced, what I would call intuitives, okay, or psychics, whatever you prefer to call us. And what we're going to do is we're literally going to build the field, the quantum field. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
And what we're going to do is we're going to create kind of like a pantheon of the quantum field. So I want you guys to kind of get a sense of how to go about doing this. So I'm going to share it with you guys. Is that the way that you build the quantum field is we actually are going to visualize ourselves like if you were in a football. You know how they have an arena and it's a circular arena? So we're going to visualize ourselves in the center of this circular arena, and we can visualize the ground. Instead of being like a regular football field, we can visualize it however you want to imagine it. We can visualize it like a ball of light that we're standing on, like a luminous ball of light, and we can imagine ourselves floating in that. And then we can invite, we are going to have bleachers where we can invite different spirit guides, angels, whatever you feel drawn to that actually would be your guides. We could actually invite them to come and join us. How's that sound?
Fabulous.
So what we're going to do is we're actually going to invite all these spirit guides to actually join us in our quantum field. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to build it, and each of us with our own imagination, because part of it is our imagination that we create that actually causes the quantum field to exist. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. And each of us... Oh, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to videotape this, you guys. So I'm trying to set it up so that this whole image is here for both of you guys are here. So I'm going to put it as a video as well. So I'm going to post it on my website as a video. So, yay!
Oh, fabulous.
But at the same time, we're actually going to do the radio show. So what we're going to do is and you guests that are listening out there on my radio show, try and follow us here and do the same thing, because this is going to help you immensely. So imagine yourself being in an auditorium outside with bleachers all around you, and you're at the center, and let's build, like, each of us using our creativity, the three of us here. It's a very powerful combination here of very powerful women. Let's build, like, the ground that we're gonna cultivate what we want to create, okay, in the quantum field. So I'm gonna ask you first, Cloud. What do you wanna, like, create in terms of, like, what is the ground that we're standing on? Is it liquid? Is it gaseous? Is it, like, solid?
Solid.
Solid. Okay. And what does it look like? What color is it?
I see multicolors.
Like rainbow colors?
Almost like a rainbow, yes.
Okay, and is it kind of like the aurora borealis that changes colors? Kind of, is it a movie kind of thing?
It absolutely is.
Cool, I saw that. What about you? Wings. How do you see the ground? Because we're going to co-create this together.
Me?
Uh-huh, you.
I see the ground. Do you want to know the way I seen it, though? You're asking me how I seen it?
Yeah, I want you to visualize it.
A mixture of really nice, like the softest kind of grass you can think of.
Okay.
And
I was seeing yours.
Because I wanted to stand on something really soft and really plush, like, you know, that was my foundation, I felt. And it was a pretty...
it was almost like a fairy field.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was seeing for her.
It was really pretty, and, like, it was like a teal blue with a mixture, like, different kinds of greens and blues.
Awesome. So look at how it's all kind of, like, creating itself. So what I saw is I literally saw, like, the center was like a bubble of light with all these lights coming up. And then there was, like, yours, like what you're talking about, was all around us, like the aurora borealis was coming out from this magical, like, forest, like Wings is describing. And
I kept seeing the fairy forest is exactly what I was seeing.
Right.
So for her to even say that, it floored me that I guess I must have been picking up on her.
You were. And I was picking up on the both of you, you know, and what you were seeing.
It's beautiful.
It is. It's like, so this is real. Okay, so that's one of the things I want to share with you guys, is that even though you think it lives in our imagination, it literally is a living, breathing substance that we're creating. Okay? So, and if Chris wants to join us, he's welcome to join us, but he may be asleep or something. I don't know. So we're going to actually build this beautiful field, okay? And what are the things that we want to share or do we want to create into reality, into existence? Like, what kind of things do you want to create, Cloud?
Love.
Okay. Love for who or what? Like for the planet?
Love for the planet, love for everybody.
For humanity.
Unconditional love.
Okay, for humanity. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Also, stability.
Okay. So stability would be more for you or for the planet? Or both?
For both.
Cool. Okay. Anything else you want to put into the
Um, I just have to laugh because
So
what I
cute.
seen when you said, "What do you want to create?" is I've seen actually a unicorn. I was just like, unicorns and well,
You're very much in a fairy mode, aren't you? She's in the fairy
Yes,
world.
she is. Full-fledged.
Oh, seriously, okay. What I would like to create is not tolerance. Like I would like to knock that out, and I would like to do, like she said, infinite self-love. Because I feel like if you had that love, you wouldn't have to tolerate people or any belief or religion or anything like that. So knock out tolerance and create, like she said, infinite love, unconditional love for everybody, mankind, animals. I want to put the animals in there in that subject.
How about ourselves?
Ourselves, definitely ourselves, because if we are okay with ourselves, then we got nothing to worry about with others. So definitely that. And another thing is going with our guts and our feelings. Like a lot of people don't do that, so I want to create a solid foundation to where it's real. What you're feeling is real, what's going on is real, and acknowledge it and make it grow.
Great. Anything else you want to put into the pie? Into the pot?
I think the love was the biggest.
Okay.
There's just so much hate everywhere.
Okay, so let's focus on what we want to create, and let's focus on what we want to uncreate, or what has been miscreating for it to dissolve. Cool?
Fabulous.
Alright, so let me see what I want to put into the field, into the quantum field of thoughts, and because your thoughts create things. So what we're going to do is we're going to put into the field a sense of global stability, like you said, balance, because the planet is so off balance right now. So to bring everything more into a balance, to have a diversity of balance. So that means that instead of because we're all the same, and that way we don't have to be that tolerant of other people's, because there's a lot of people that have issues with people that have a different colored skin, different things like that, like different religions. And the truth is that, we're all built the same on the inside. And the only difference between us is what our expression is, physical expression is on the outside, and what our belief systems are. And the beautiful thing is that the truth is that we are all truly part of the same family. And we just need to recognize that. So putting that also into the pot, and putting ecological stabilization of the planet. Oh my goodness. You need a puppy. That's okay. She wants to be a part of it too. Let's see, what else do we want to put into the field? The biodynamic balance that needs to come back into the planet, so that we can be physically, environmentally stabilize the planet. Okay? Sound like a good idea? Cool.
Yes.
And then I also want to bring in how to manifest financial abundance regardless of what the economy is doing. Because that's one of the things you brought up, Cloud.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I think that would be a cool thing to put into. So we put all these things into the pot. And now what we do is we ask our guides, our fairy kingdom, which is the etheric kingdom, the angelic kingdom. We ask for all the kingdoms to come in and assist us, and they'll be sitting in the bleachers. And what will happen is they'll sit in the bleachers, and then they'll come in and join us. They will come and join us and play with us and hang out with us. So let's do that. So let's look and see, and we're all very intuitive, you guys, and the three of us are very connected, so it's easy for us to read each other's minds. So who wants to start by bringing, and I could totally, my God.
Yeah.
Wings, I could feel who you want to bring in. So you want to bring in the unicorns. You already talked about them, right? What other fairy folk did you want to bring in? And do you see them on the field, or do you see them Hanging out in the bleachers.
No, some are in the field, some are in the trees, some are along the brook. There's a brook, some are on the rocks, sitting on little stones.
Great.
Some are like standing, yes, on the sidelines, watching. They're everywhere.
Okay, cool. Does Yuri want to be a part of this? That's okay.
Apparently.
If he does, it's okay. Yuri is he's a 3-year-old starseed that he's an amazing kid. So anyhow, he may join us, so that's okay. And, and what about you, Miss Cloud? What do you want to, like, which guides, which beings do you feel are coming into the field with us and co-creating this?
Well,
reality?
I see Fae, obviously. I see Fae everywhere.
Okay. Awesome. And Fae, for you guys that don't know what that is the fairy kingdom.
Yes. And I see them everywhere. I see them romping around. I see them in the stands. You know, I see small ones. I see big ones. I see the angels. Archangel Michael, Raphael, Uriel, Jophiel, all of them.
Good.
Shamuel.
Okay. Awesome. And they're all in the field with us?
Sandalphon is actually beside us.
Okay.
I can see Sandalphon beside us.
Okay.
They're kind of some are in the stands. Yeah, they're kind of just
flowing around.
Yeah, flowing around. I didn't
Zooming
want to
out.
say floating.
Well, I mean, they are. They're just like kind of like chilling, like
yeah. That's
sitting.
what I saw. I saw them floating
they're
around
not
us,
really-
kind of like the wind. You know?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like a breeze, like a sweet breeze that comes around us and moves around us, right?
Yes,
Cool.
I do see my grandmother.
Okay.
My grandmother's just moseying around, you know, with them, and
So now we're
a
bringing.
couple of my personal guides.
Okay, so now we're bringing in our ancestors, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like we have a pretty big group of beings that's hanging with us.
Yes.
Okay, so now we're going to get into the more like esoteric, psychic, intuitive side of things. And when Wings comes back, we'll ask her, but in the meantime I'll ask you, do you have any special messages? This is really the amazing thing about building the quantum field, is that when we invite all these beings to come celebrate with us and be with us in the quantum field, do you hear any messages from any of them, Cloud? About how to create this paradigm that we're choosing to create right now in the quantum field?
They're basically saying to bring tranquility in, love, happiness.
How to bring tranquility in? Please explain to us how. I mean, it's easier said than done. So, and that's what I'm reading the minds of some of the audience that is here right now. So, how?
Part of it is relaxing. You know, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, allowing all the negativity to just flow right out of you with every breath that you breathe out.
Okay.
And breathing in the positive energies.
Okay. So exhaling the outer breath, that basically you're removing the toxicity from your body and the toxic thoughts. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
And when each breath, you're breathing in happiness, happy thoughts, happy memories.
So the way to trigger the happy thoughts
positivity.
Okay, so the way to trigger the happy thoughts that you're talking about is to have remembrance of past experiences that somebody's had where they were in joy. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
Okay. What else?
Okay. One of the angels is saying, and it's Archangel Michael.
I heard him.
And he is saying, allow yourself to release everything, that the anger that you felt for the last few weeks or few months, Release it. Let it go. Don't allow it to consume yourself.
Okay.
Love it. Don't hold on to the anger.
So
but learn to love.
Learn to love the anger, but in a positive way. Is that what he's saying?
In a positive way, yes. Bring it in as positive.
Okay. So can I ask Archangel Michael a question through you?
Absolutely.
So is it okay to express anger, like if you're frustrated? Because mostly that's what happens to people. They get frustrated and then they get angry. Is it better to express it or to hold it inside of you?
Express it. Holding it inside makes it worse.
Right. And
you
how
hold it in, and it builds and it builds and it builds,
yeah,
and then it explodes.
Right.
And it explodes in a very negative,
like
harmful
toxic
manner.
way. Yeah, like a very toxic way, right? So if you're
Yes.
angry or you get frustrated right away and you're angry, it's okay to just like express it and go, damn, or whatever it is, right? To just get it out of your system,
Release
right?
it.
Yeah, to release it.
And then accept it.
Okay, and then accept
Because
it.
once you can accept it, you can release that hate, that anger.
Great. And like you said initially, Cloud, you said that there was a lot of that right now on planet Earth. That there's a lot of that you're having a omniscient sense of a lot of hatred on the planet right now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So what we're going to tell our audience and people that listen to us all around the planet and in this radio show is to, when you're feeling frustrated and you're angry, just express it in the moment and don't hold it in and don't let it build up, right? Because then it'll explode and then you'll be out of control, as opposed to being in control of your anger and at the same time being able to express it and release it, right? Because what's the outcome of that once you release it? I know you're about to say that through Archangel Michael's talking through you.
You can learn to accept it. You can learn to accept it. Breathe in and just say, this was not good for me, but I accept it. I love it. That's the infinite love.
Okay, great.
If you keep holding it in and you let it build and build, you can express it 500 times, but you're still holding it because you've built it up to such a hardcore ball inside of you that you don't know how to release it.
Right. That makes sense. Okay, cool. So what I've experienced is that we have a gamut of emotions, right? From the
Absolutely.
very positive to some people would think anger, hate, all that's negative. But it's actually what it is a barometer. It's almost like a thermometer is what I'm going to say.
Yes.
For our guidance of where we are emotionally and how we're reacting to the outer world, okay? And sometimes to the inner world, okay? So that's basically the beauty or the rainbow that we talked about that initially you set the field. You saw that rainbow. You saw,
yeah, absolutely.
Our emotions are no different. So I want to share that with our audience, that the emotions are no different, that the emotions are the same way, that it has all the different colors of the rainbow, and it has different pales of gray to black to white to all the different other colors, green, red, purple, orange. All the different colors are part of that gamut of emotions that we have. And it would be really nice to talk about that because emotions are really critical right now on the planet, and they're running very high with different people on both extremes, like really high happy or really high. I notice, like with my partner, there's moments where he's super happy and then there's moments where he's super angry. And there's extremes right now going on, like really extremes of both. So it's good to realize that and to come back to center, right?
Absolutely.
But the only way you can do that is love where you're at in the moment, which is what you're sharing. So if you're angry in the moment, you free it out of your body, you thank it, you love it, and then you can come back to center, right? Is that what Archangel Michael is saying?
Exactly.
Because he's talking to both of us, so. So that's one of the things that we like to impart to all of you guys, and hopefully you'll get the transmission about anger. Is the same thing with love. And then one of the things that I want to talk about is joy. That joy is not something that's produced outside of ourselves because of an experience, because we got what we wanted. That's happiness. There's a big difference between joy and happiness. Happiness is something that's temporary. Joy is something that's more permanent, because joy comes from a place where we're in balance and we're connected to our infinite selves, to our higher selves. Okay?
Exactly.
So, Miss Amber, your turn. Miss Wingies of Topaz. What do you want to...
She doesn't know. She just came back in. She doesn't know what we were...
I know. We were just like... Archangel Michael was just channeling about anger and how to express anger, how to love anger, and how to transmute it so that you can come into a place of harmonic balance. So, what are your guides and the fairy kingdom that you brought into the field? What do they want to share about what we're co-creating with them in the quantum field?
Give me 1 second. I don't have to really for that one.
Yeah, no worries. She's going to get focused and come back to us because she was taking care of her little boy Yuri. So,
yes.
Aw. So, while she gets focused and centered and starts, just let us know, Wings, when you're ready to kind of share with us what you get, the communication you get from the beings that you invited, like the unicorns and the Fae kingdom, the fairy kingdom, and the plant kingdom, and the animal and the mineral kingdom.
I can say that I just heard some of the Fae saying that so much is unbalanced right now as far as our own energies. So I'm trying to pull together exactly what they were saying, because they just make one little sentence and then we know how it works. They're
kind
always
of flutter away and then come back.
Yeah,
kind of
they're like, okay, well, we gave you the line, so you decide. But no, like we're very unbalanced right now. Our chakras aren't aligned. We're not centered. We're not focused.
Right.
And I believe that's exactly what was being said at that moment,
okay,
a few moments ago.
So how about asking, like, they're telling us what we're not. How about how to get to be that? To be balanced.
The first thing I just heard was take every step with purpose. Take every step with pride.
Okay, wait. You gotta repeat the first part over and over again. Because people don't get this.
Okay.
To take every step with what?
With purpose.
Okay, so let's describe to people what purpose means. Like with intention?
With intention.
Okay.
With being focused on where you're headed, where you're going to go, what you want to accomplish.
Okay. And then if you have little hiccups along the path, along the way, how do we handle that? Because a lot of people, like, they have their intent, they have their purpose, and they're on their mission, right? And they're walking, and then all of a sudden there'll be a bump on the road. And they'll get, like, it's almost like the tire gets blown out, and you gotta pump it back.
And they don't know how to fix the tire and move on.
Yes, and continue moving in that direction regardless of, like, the so-called obstacle that presented itself.
Okay, and what was just said to us with purpose and intention, everybody's going to have the hiccups. Everybody's going to have the bumps in the road, the obstacles. It's how we deal with them that sets us apart from each other.
Right. Okay.
It's not if, it's when that happens to us.
Okay, so great point, fairies. I'm so grateful you said that. Because this is one of the things that I teach in my manifestation class. I always tell people it's none of your business as to the how and the when it'll come about. Your business is the what. And the what is your intent and your purpose. The how it's going to come about, or the when, the time frame, is none of your business. So this is how we remove that obstacle. This is how we remove that, there's a bump on the road. So if you're creating something or in the process of co-creating, it's not a matter of, I'm going to make it happen this next year. Okay. That blocks you, right?
Am I going to sit down and cry because this bump is in my road, or am I going to do something about it?
Right.
Am I going to remove it?
Right, or move through it, you know,
Or
like,
move,
or
yeah.
dissolve it, right? Like literally
Exactly.
we dissolve it by being present with it, and instead of being angry at that bump on the road, like literally being present with it and going, what can I learn from this? Like literally.
There was something there I needed to learn.
There is. That's why the bump is there on the road.
Exactly.
The reason why you have that bump on the road is because on some level, deep down inside of you, there's a part of you that's not aligned, like you were talking about, all the chakras being aligned and your intent being aligned, and there's a part of you that doesn't believe that you can co-create this, or sometimes we boycott what we want to create. And it's very unconscious. This is not a conscious process. So what those bumps on the road are there for is to teach us, they're training tools, and they're also kind of like a biofeedback machine, where it's giving you a biofeedback of where your consciousness is at. So if you find that obstacle, what you want to do with that obstacle is you want to have it as a learning tool, and not be, oh God, my whole dream has come apart, now it's not going to work and it's not going to happen. It's like, no, like there's an aspect of you that doesn't believe it's going to happen, and that's why it's there. So what can you do to actually dissolve that bump so you can move forward?
You first have to understand, what is this bump? What does it consist of? Why is it here? And then you have to think about it and say, okay, I haven't been paying attention lately. I haven't been doing this. I haven't been doing that. I need to own it, and I need to accept it, and I need to do better. I need to make sure that, when it comes up in the future, I walk straight through it.
Right.
Because it did not affect me this time.
Great. Cool. Okay, so that's how we deal with bumps on the road. Okay, so Amber, are you with us now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And Mr. Yuri is there with us too. He's playing in the yard. He's so cute. He's 3 years old and he's the cutest. Okay, so your turn to kind of share with us, now that you're with us. Like, are you getting any messages about the construct, the thought construct that we're creating in this quantum field, and we have all our beautiful guides that are assisting us in terms of how to transmute stuff? Go ahead.
The main thing that I'm feeling I need to talk about is the ego, because what she was talking about the bumps in the road and the mind and the process, the ego is a very big part of the you can't do it, you might as well stop, or this happened before and this, like it's very, very prominent in the past. The ego is, because it goes off your experiences and what you've lived through and what you've seen. And so the ego is very, very past oriented, and so therefore it hurts your present, and therefore sometimes your present, it's hard to even see a future because you have the ego that's just like holding you back. So one of the things I would like to put out there is, if you could get 2 notebooks, and in one do the higher self and in the other do the ego, and do I am statements in the higher self and say I am beautiful. And then as soon as you make that statement, go to the ego book and say whatever it says. If you say I am beautiful and the ego says no you're not, fine, put that, no you're not. I am infinite, and the ego might say nope, you're just human. Like those type of things. Do it back and forth in these notebooks, and until you get enough to where you can filter it out. Filter out what the ego is trying to tell you, because the ego's not bad. It just has a message to construe to you that gets mumble-jumbled in everyday life, and you kind of just ignore it.
Mommy, I get
Okay. So that's the main thing I want to put out there is filter out the ego, filter it through the higher self, and see what the ego's telling you, and don't get mad at the ego. Like, show it love, but just see what the message is.
Awesome.
Transmute those feelings inside of you.
So great point that you brought the ego. Thank you for doing wings, doing that, because it's really critical. And that's one of the things that, like, the Ascended Masters have taught me, is basically that we need to unite the ego with the higher self. That's why we came here in a physical form, is to unite the two. It's not to alienate the ego, okay, and make it a bad, even though the ego kind of stumbles here on this planet and has a lot of lessons. Let's be really kind to our egos, you know? Because our egos are the thing that actually protects us on one end, and then it actually wants a lot of things. You know, that's the 5-year-old that I want it now. You know?
Yes.
So it's almost like the way I see it is like a wild horse that's like a little horse that you're training, and that you actually, through the school of hard knocks and, you know, falling on the ground, you know, you hit your knees, you wash them, you know, you clean them back up, you get back up, or you get back up on the horse. But you get back on and you start walking again, and you learn from that experience. The key, I think, in what you said, which is really critical, Wings of Topaz, is actually the merging of the two is the critical part, and that's where your notebook thing is a great idea, to look at both, not get angry at the ego, because the ego's purpose is to protect you, and it actually gives you a personality. You know, so that's the beautiful part of it, is that then you don't just become blah, you know, and you become a whole being, but it's the merging of the ego with the higher self that's the critical thing, with the soul. The soul's the wisdom, the ego is like the young child that's learning. And if they two could be like twins that come together and do the dance, that's when you're going to have a balanced life, and you have a beautiful life.
They did just show me a pair of wings.
Wow.
If both wings aren't moving in the same aspect, you are not going to be able to fly.
Yeah.
And that's where the ego and yourself come into play.
Definitely.
The wings have to be in sync with each other in order to be able to fly. And it's funny because I just heard believe it or not, I saw a firefly.
Oh, I believe you.
And the firefly said, "Shine from within."
Yeah.
And he just floated on. But I was just like, wow.
He's
you know,
so
and that's
cute.
exactly what we need to do, is we need to shine from within.
Right.
Because we can't shine outward.
Hi, Yuri.
And people can't understand each other if we aren't shining from within of ourselves.
That's right. That's totally correct. So for you guys all out there that have, like, look at Yuri. He's 3 years old. He has this beautiful soul. You know, he's radiating this beautiful energy, and he doesn't have any limitations except the ones that we teach ourselves or teach children. You know,
If us as adults could do this,
yes,
what a 2-3-year-old child can do,
yes, like look, he
and
wants to kiss you.
take out those limitations. It's pretty fabulous.
That's right. So that's one of the things that children can teach us, is to be innocent again, and to be creative, and to be present. Just pet them, love them. Don't grab their hair like that.
He's petting my hair.
I know, it's so cute.
I think we're the only ones that set limitations on ourselves and where we can go, what we can do. And, you know, I'm glad the little firefly just said that. You know, and all he said was shine from within. And then he lit up and he flew on.
And then you got the full message, which was awesome, you know? Which is, yes, we live in a world that's very limiting, and that there's a lot of controls, if you like, limiting who we are and what we do. So it's awesome that you brought that up, because we are truly unlimited beings. And as souls that come in and incarnate in the flesh, we literally are still part of that unlimited being, and the merging of the soul with the personality or the ego is critical to our evolution and the evolution of the planet. So I totally agree with Wings, you know. So it's so much fun to have you laugh for us. Will you laugh for us some more, Yuri? Because you're so cute.
He's bringing in the happiness to the field.
And he loves his mommy. He knows we're having a lot of fun. Okay, so let me see what message the beings that are here for us also want to share with all of you about creating. So what we want to do is we want to solidify the quantum field, and we might want to make it into a solid thought form, because that then will outpicture itself. Okay, so how do we go about doing that? Well, one is integrating, like Wing said, integrating the ego with the personality with the higher self or the soul. The other thing is like the beautiful wisdom that you shared, Cloud, which is basically shine from within. Let go, love your anger, express it, love it, and then transmute it into a balanced place. Okay? And this is a global message for everybody to do, that if we start doing all these things, we'll start to create a new world, a new, more dynamic world. So the thing that I like to talk about that we haven't covered really is how to live in balance with nature and the ecology, as opposed to this very off-balance kind of destructive energy that's been on the planet, where it's destroying the bees, it's destroying the plants, the spray that they spray in the skies. You know, and if people don't want to see that, well, you know, you have your head in the sand and you got to look up. And those are not chemtrails. That's not vapor coming out of the planes. It's actually poisons. But to transmute that with our consciousness, as we come as a group consciousness and we start transmuting it, that will dissipate and disappear, and start being and living in balance with the different animals. Today I learned something. 2 days ago or yesterday we went to a goat farm, and I learned something really important from this lady. She said that as soon as she needs an insect or some kind of an animal that will come in and get rid of certain parasites or bugs, another animal shows up to help, or our insect. Isn't that amazing? That she doesn't need to use any pesticides, no poisons, nothing like that. So it's us learning to be more agrarian and learning to do it biodynamically. Learning to look at the system, the nature system that's out there that takes care of all this stuff, and that we don't need to interfere.
Exactly.
So I think that's one of the things, is as our consciousness becomes more pure and less poison, less and less poisons will show up on the planet. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Cool. Okay, so that's what I'd like to inject into the quantum field, is that for more and more beings to become aware of this and become aware of natural products that are basically agrarian products. Like we used to have farming and we used to have all those things, that if we go back into that place of being with nature and integrating that, our bodies are going to be healthier, our ecology is going to be healthier, and the planet's going to be healthier. So that's one of the things that I feel like the divas, which is a different level, it's not the fae, it's actually the nature spirits that are coming in and talking through me and asking for all of us to contribute in that way, to contribute in the way that we actually become more balanced with nature and more balanced with having a natural organism that takes care of other organisms. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So, do you guys feel like we have achieved something here, that now the quantum field, the way it works, it's everywhere. So it'll actually spread the consciousness everywhere. And obviously through our speech and the way we're talking, it'll go out into nature, and it'll go out into the minds and hearts of people that have the ears to hear and the eyes to see. Right?
Yeah, it's fabulous. And I'm sure you hear the fireworks going off all around us.
I don't. Isn't that a trip?
You don't? Wow.
It's totally...
Some of them are loud.
Are they? No. I heard it before. I heard like boom, boom, boom when I was over there, and now I don't hear anything. Maybe it's because I'm talking. So, today is Independence Day here in the United States, supposedly. It's a celebration of our independence. But the truth is that, are we truly independent? And that's something that I'll leave in people's minds to think about and to decide for themselves. So what other things, like, are you getting any other messages? Does any of our friends that we invited into the quantum field, into our little gathering, want to say? Either of you?
I'm not getting anything at the moment. I'm just watching everything going on around me. Wings, you got anything?
Not yet.
Okay. So do they feel like we've completed pretty much? Because sometimes I'll do that. It'll go all quiet. Because sometimes it's kind of time, for them to, like, they'll either be leaving and feel like we've completed our mission, or is there still some other wisdom they want to share with us and wrap it up, and then we can talk about other things. I kind of felt that, like, silence, and all of a sudden, like, okay, we're done. I don't know if you guys felt that too.
Well, I feel like they wanted, that was the main focuses for today.
Okay. So here's
because
go ahead.
I'm still seeing the fireflies all around.
Cool. So here's what we want to do, is when we open the field and we invite our guests, we invited the divas, the nature divas. We invited the fae, which is the fairy kingdom. We invited the angelic kingdom. We invited the ancient, like our ancestors. All these beings that came to join us and that are now pretty quiet, they usually get quiet because they know that they've completed their assignment, their mission of sharing with us. So we're going to ask thank you. So we honor you, we thank you, and we appreciate you coming here into the field and co-creating with us and bringing your wisdom to share with the world so that we could have more awakening in the world. So with that, we're actually going to close and let them leave as they came, and we'll close the quantum field because it's good to open it and close it so that there's actually a containment. So we created this container with the quantum field. So this is just one example of what you can do, and how you can manifest different things and create different things in the world. Like we could have thought about rain, and the three of us together in the quantum field, we can create rain, and a lot of rain everywhere on the planet, so that's how powerful we are. So
it's beautiful.
Yeah. That's not what our intent was tonight, but we'll do it maybe on another quantum field thing. We'll do more nature stuff that you'll literally see reflected out in nature, and then you'll start to see rain in different parts of the country where they were supposed to have super hot. So we could do that kind of stuff, which would be very powerful.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. So we've closed the quantum field. We thank the four directions. We thank all the beings that were here to support us. And now that we've done the quantum thing, we could talk also about, what I'd like to talk about? I'd like to stay on the quantum field thing because this is like what our theme is. But we could do the same thing for helping people with their healing. What I call their healing crisis. Is you can do the same process when you're doing a healing on someone. So when you are working on somebody and they have some kind of a disease or something, you can open the field without even having to tell them, and you ask their guides to tell you what's going on with their body, what's the root cause of this, how it got created, so that you can get a lot of information on how to help them transmute their disease. Hence, being out of ease with oneself is what the significance of disease is. And here's our playful little vogue. So cute. So that's one of the things that I don't know if you guys want to touch base on that. I had to do readings in the quantum field for people because both, like I said, Wings and Cloud are both professional psychics that work on Uranum, so you can go find them there. Cloud Song and Wings of Topaz. So you could actually, help people with doing the quantum field thing. Right? Right? Miss
we have
Wings?
a lotus that just fell down right beside us.
Oh my God. A lotus flower?
No,
Bug.
the bug.
A bug. Oh my God, how cool.
Wow.
Like a huge locust?
Uh,
Yeah, here.
look at him.
Look at this.
I don't know if you see him on the shoe. Look at that.
Yes. Oh my goodness, that's so cool. He just came to visit us.
Yes, he did.
That's like a grasshopper, right?
No, it's the I'm
What
trying to
is
think of what it is.
like a cicada?
Yeah, like that. Yes.
They make a really strong sound, like.
Yes.
Okay, that's a cicada. Oh, how cool! See, he's come into our quantum field and made us
Yes,
aware
he
of
did.
it. So cool. And then
We
you
had heard him a couple minutes ago as you was closing,
Oh,
and
cool.
it's kind of wild how you was closing it, and he flew in at the last moment.
Oh, how cool.
He actually fell and
wow.
landed inside of a shoe.
That is such
Actually,
a
a Yuri's shoe.
Yeah, it's your shoe.
That's Yuri's shoe? So cute. That's very cool.
There is a lot going on over here at the moment.
There is. Besides all the fireworks and all the distractions, there's definitely a lot
Yes.
of nature around us. Isn't that interesting that the nature divas came in and look, you're having all this nature all around you. I don't because I'm inside for now. But I'll go out later and I'll see what comes up in the field, you know. But that's
We are
awesome.
always outside.
Oh, cool. That's great. Wow, I heard
Goodness.
that. Holy moly, that was a big kaboom, kaboom. We're gonna have ours.
Fabulous.
We're gonna have ours shortly here. So do you guys want to close the radio show with that, or do you want to share anything else? I'll leave it up to you guys. It's been fabulous having you guys as
No, we
guests.
can, I'd just like to say, to go on with what I was saying about letting your light shine within.
Uh-huh.
So many people right now, they come every single night and
Uh-huh.
talk to me.
Uh-huh.
And they are so focused on love, on money, but they're focusing on that person.
Like the
They're
external,
losing themselves.
like externally, they're not really focused within, right?
Yes, they've lost who they are.
Yeah.
And they're so focused on that person. Well, are they going to call me? Are they going to do this? Are they going to do that? I texted him, and he's not texting me back. Or she's not calling me, and I've called her 3 times today. And I have to stop them, and I'm like, but stop. You need to focus on yourself. Because you're losing who you are. In any relationship, you can never lose who you are.
Well, you can
And they
have,
said, well, how do I get it back, Cloud?
you could have the illusion, right, of losing yourself
Yes,
in them.
and
Yeah.
their mindset is so focused on this love bubble that they don't even realize that they want to be in it, but they haven't interjected themselves back into it yet because they're looking at it from afar. Well, what's he going to do? What's she going to do? No, stop. That's not what it's about.
So what is it about?
It's about loving ourselves. Nobody can love you if you don't love yourself. If you don't put yourself first, how can you expect anybody else to put you first?
I agree. I totally
And
agree.
I tell them, I'm like, okay, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to wake up in the morning. I want you to look in the mirror, and I want you to say, you know what, I'm beautiful. I'm a fabulous person. I'm a great person. I deserve love. And then I want you to do your hair the way you feel the best. If you wear makeup, I want you to put makeup on the way you feel the best. I want you to put on the clothes that make you feel the best. I want you to put shoes on all the way down to your feet. Put on what makes you feel the best. Because when you leave your home, you feel good.
Can I ask?
When you feel good, a light within you naturally starts to shine. And it's called the law of attraction.
Can I add something to that, Nicole?
Please.
That's really, really critical, and I think people need to hear this. Is one of the exercises that I give to people that have lack of self-love is I ask them to look in the mirror and stare into your eyes through the mirror, and just stay focused for at least a minute if you can, and keep repeating this, what is called a mantra, and saying, "I love you, Sonia. I love you, Sonia. I love you, Sonia."
Affirmations.
It's literally, people that don't love themselves, you'll find that you're going to have a very hard time doing this exercise. You'll be really scared to say, "I love myself." You know, to just say your name and say, "I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you." And try that out. And if you're uncomfortable, if you really get uncomfortable with that, then there's homework for you to do. And what I usually tell people is you need to do this in the morning when you first wake up. You know, you brush your teeth, you wash your face, and then stare in the mirror and go, for a minute, "I love myself." And then before you go to bed. And keep doing that for 30 days. Like 30 days, non-stop. Because you'll start to change the way you feel about yourself. Like
you start feeling it from within.
Yes.
Instead of just saying it, it's a feeling. It's a state of mind.
Do you agree with that, Amber?
I just need to say something. Like,
yes,
the cicada
please.
Came in, and it's funny that she brought up love and all this other stuff, because it says, cicadas produce noise in their stomach with cymbals. This is like they create a beat turn over in their stomach. Cooperation and teamwork brings higher success than working alone. So this is what the cicada represents. It says, from time to time, it takes a community to promote love to get nearer to our side. Certainly, cicadas hold a significant sign of affection, matchmaking, and finding out our proper match.
Wow.
Also, they remind us to take opinion from our friends and family in terms of love. When we go through the music of cicada, it gives an excellent time to refrain from our love lives and possibly to take some trustworthy guidance about love and affairs. Cicadas make their living in the coolest places of the earth. And they decide their individual time to born, which is a cool idea. So they make their own decisions of when to go and come, and they usually stay in groups, meaning it's a sign because there's only one here that came on the porch, and she starts talking about love, and it's saying it's a symbol of matchmaking and taking time out and listening to your friends and family in order to get that love, or a community of love like that. So that's why I was over here like, oh my god, let me talk.
Well, you got the floor, girl, so go for it. I mean, that's awesome. Look at how reflective the universe is and how quickly that quantum field responded back to us through a cicada. But it takes...
Just as you were closing.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes, so, and here's wings actually catching that drift, right, that energy wave, and actually looking at it, and then she went online to check it out and see what the significance of finding a cicada. Like a cicada came into your literally into your field, into your physical field, and what's the significance of it, and it's exactly all we've been talking about this whole evening.
And we could say that even that was a bump in the road, and we stopped and we found out what that bump was.
Yep.
We realized what the cicada was.
Like a sign, right? So
absolutely.
So go for it, Miss Wings. What other things you want to share? Is that what you want to share?
Well, basically, it's just talking about the love, like for a community. It's talking about community to promote love and to get nearer to our side, and that's what we've been trying to get out there and create the quantum physics about. The quantum field about.
That's okay.
And then it actually flies into our physical
reality, right? Like it's
right as we were closing.
It's like a confirmation that hey, it worked, and it's you did it. This is a sign that it's working.
And here's a team of 3 of us that are co-creating this, right?
Exactly.
As opposed to us
pretty strong between the 3 of us.
Yeah. So there's the physical, actually, first part of the manifestation. I will have to say that this is just the first part that it instantly appeared itself. So watch for signs. Like one of the things that a lot of people, because they're so distracted right now on the planet, is they miss these beautiful moments. Like you said, a bump on the road, that you miss the beautiful moments. So that kind of leads us into the crappy moments that you're experiencing in your life, or the scary moments, okay? It's all about us paying attention to that and learning and shifting it and creating something different, a different outcome. Because we are creators after all, right? You guys agree?
Yes.
Amber, you agree?
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
There was one little tidbit I wanted to share.
Please. Please.
It was really cool. It says, cicadas are kept breathing by the element of the earth. Nourished by the roots of the trees, they sleep underground. They wait for the correct time to crack the ground and explode onward in a movement of action. The burrowed cicada can be understood as a symbol of the ancient times, and its appearance is a symbol of present time solar connections.
Solar connections, like the sun?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I just want to make sure that I heard that right. Okay.
Yes.
Keep going.
Cicadas are warmth lovers, and it seems the warmer the weather, the louder the cicadas buzz.
Mm-hmm.
Listen around us at this moment.
I can hear
Yeah,
it
I
everywhere.
wish you could hear
I can.
all of the nature.
No,
It is loud.
I could hear it. That's what I could hear more than the blasting of the...
Wow.
You know, I could hear that because we have that here too. You know, we have that. But right now, I could hear that. You know that cricket sound that's kind of like a musical wave that comes and goes. I can hear it in the background, which is awesome.
It's amazing. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's part of us being one with nature, right?
Exactly.
Cool. Anything else you want to share, Miss Wings? Topaz Wings?
Some symbolic meaning of the cicada is given below. Transformation, change, regeneration, revival, past to present, re-embodiment, enlightenment, long life, astonishing, sensuality, worship, company, cooperation, fluency, endurance, and timing.
Wow, that's awesome. Like we just
It
had...
is, and that's exactly what we've been talking about.
Yep, exactly.
So it just came in to confirm everything for us.
Yay.
And that is fabulous. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, cicadas. We honor
Absolutely.
you for being on the planet and making your beautiful music for us at night.
Well, I had heard it fall, but I didn't see it because it fell in the shoe.
Oh.
And Wings actually got up and went and looked.
I know, that's awesome that she's so in tuned.
That's fabulous.
It is.
It's just sitting here beside us, chilling. I feel like I need to put it back in the earth since that's what makes it live.
Well, they fly, right? They can fly.
Yeah, it flies, but it's just sitting there. I don't know if it's like...
It just wants to hang out with you. That's why he's on the shoes, because he wants... When he's ready to go, he'll go on his own.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I believe he's just sitting here
He likes,
listening to us.
And he likes the energy. Yeah,
Yes.
Totally.
Beautiful. It was a beautiful sign.
Aw, thank you, cicada. It's like, he's
Right.
like happy. He's like, yeah, I'm acknowledged. Yeah, right.
It's wonderful.
What an awesome radio show, you guys. Thanks for sharing it with me. And we
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah,
Appreciate that.
yeah, I love
I love you
this.
to death.
Well, I love you guys to death too. This is way fun. I love doing this.
Yes.
So maybe what we'll do is like, it's not quite 7 o'clock yet. We started at 6. I think we started at 5:30, so 6:30. So we've gone over an hour and 10 minutes. Is there anything else before like I close and wrap up that you guys would like to share or discuss?
No, just to finish what I was saying about once you leave the house feeling wonderful and you start to emit this light around you and it starts attracting people. And that's what I was saying, the law of attraction. And then pretty soon you see those looks and you feel it and you feel better. And by the end of the day, you're going, wow, I feel wonderful. And your mood, your shift, everything starts shifting. And you want to do it the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And pretty soon, that love that was blocked, you've unblocked.
Wow.
And if it was meant to be, it will open up and flourish. And if not, there's another love. There's more out there. That will come through.
That's why I wanted to put the laughter in there, because that's part of our love, right?
Exactly.
That's part of us.
It's so healthy to laugh and
it is
and feel free.
Woohoo!
And there we have the fireworks are kind of going crazy now.
They are. I mean, it's nighttime there where you guys are. It's not even dark here yet, but we'll have that in a couple hours here.
Okay, yeah, it's 9:40 here.
Yeah. So
thank you so very much for having me.
Oh, I loved having you, Cloud. And you too, Wings. Topaz Wings.
Yeah.
She has topaz eyes. They're really amazing looking.
They're beautiful.
They are.
Well,
oh, you're welcome.
Very captivating eyes.
Yeah, she does. She's a very captivating woman.
Well,
I'd like to thank everybody for listening.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Do you want to say anything in closing before we close the show? Wings?
If you are starting out on this spiritual journey, don't give up, because it can be very frustrating. And over time, I have ignored stuff and just talking. If you feel like you're hearing something, listen. Because just recently, I've really stepped into the position. It's been a journey. It's been really low. It's been really high. It's been a roller coaster. And some days I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do the healing. I don't want to do all that. And then some days I'm like, why wouldn't I want to? Why not? Why not help others if you can? If you have that gift, if you have that ability, why not share it? Why not cultivate it? And why not make it grow? So that's one of the things I've been struggling with. Am I hearing it right? I always second guess my intuition. I'm always asking Cloud, is this right? Did I do this right? Or you even, is this correct? When really it's not about if it's correct or anything like that. It's about what you're getting, and do you relate to it, and can someone else relate to it? And if so, then that's what it's meant to be. That's what's meant to be the meaning of whatever you're getting. So whether it's love, whether it's relationships, whether it's money, education, whatever it is, just go with your gut and follow through with it. And you don't have to ask other people, is this right? Am I feeling this right?
You don't have to ask for their permission.
Well, it's not really about permission. It's just about second guessing myself. And I know everybody does it. Everybody.
That's the key. That's really critical what you brought up. Really critical, Wings, because what I usually teach in my intuitive classes, I always tell people your first intuition, your first thing that comes up in your head and in your body is the right one. When you start second guessing yourself, that's when you're going to screw up with your own life and with others if you are a reader. So stick with the first one. And just, people are too afraid to express that and speak it for yourself. Even for yourself, like you were saying, don't second guess yourself. Go with your first intuition. And it's a practice. It's literally a practice. So I agree with you. It's literally you got to practice it every day. And when I do that still too, where I second guess myself, or I know I shouldn't really do that, and I do it, and then I learn the lesson, right? And I get that Zen stick that goes smack. That's my lesson. So the next time I actually go, okay, I felt like this is not the right thing or the right energy to move into, and I'm not going to do it. And then later I go, I listen to myself. Yay!
Right.
And I give myself a treat. I pat myself on the back. And then when it goes the opposite way and I second guess myself and I did something that my intuition was saying don't do that, I go, oh, lesson learned. Don't do it again, right?
Yep.
So that's just what we have to do. So I totally agree with you to just It is a journey, and it's a matter of really listening to your intuition and heeding the call. The first call that you get, your first sense is the right sense. The second one, you're going to be very confused. So I agree with you.
You broke down in it on the second one.
Yeah, so it's not about asking permission. It's about us doubting ourselves and doubting our inner navigation, like our soul navigating us through those waters. That's the ego that comes up and goes, no, I want to do this instead.
Exactly.
You know, so literally it's that, like, that conversation that you were having before about the ego and the soul, you know, or the personality and the soul. So it's basically what I usually do, and there's a beautiful audio that you guys can listen to here on Spreakers that I uploaded, which is Letting Go of Fear, or How to Eliminate Fear. And Saint Germain channeled through me about this and merging the two to having the personality like take the back seat and the soul navigating you. So the more your soul embodies you, wings, the less you're going to have that second guessing. The more you're going to go with the flow of the soul, and your personality is going to stop. It's going to stop fighting it. It's going to stop fighting your personality. Is going to stop fighting the soul and going, okay, you know what? Since the last time we fell, it really hurt. Like I hit my knee really hard and it hurt and it stung like hell, and I'm not going to do it again. You know, then that's that dance that the ego and the personality start to learn to unite. You know, and that the ego realizes, yeah, I'm kind of dumb compared to my soul is infinitely wise. So I'm going to let my soul kind of take over and navigate and direct me to the right places, people, experiences, right? Cool.
That's it.
Cool. Anything else you want to share, Wings? I'm sorry. I just wanted to put those like, that I think you agree with, right? You agree with that? Cool. So we're still learning how to do all this, all of us.
We learn every day.
Yeah, it's just a lot, like, you know, working with Cloud and you, it's just things that, if you see something over and over, stop and pay attention to it, you know. I've recently had a lot of things that I was freaking out about, and it was a sign, you know, and it's kind of like Cloud says, don't freak, just stop and try to read into it and see what's going on, and you know, I kept seeing it with different people, so it's just like, start thinking what all these people play when you see that symbol, because when it actually happens, you can connect it like a spider web. You can connect each person to the symbol when you've seen it and how you've seen it and the part they played in it. So that's another thing, like if you see stuff, whether it's a bird, whether it's a plane, whether it's a car, start thinking who's around and what's going on in your life and what could it be, because it could A, save your life or save someone else's life, or B, it could show you a new outlet or solve the problem you have. Like there could be a serious problem and you just don't know how to fix, and you've tried to comb it with a fine-tooth comb, questioning, when really all you have to do is think about that symbol and put it with what the situation and the people that are connected with you and that situation. And it's just a domino effect, you know, everyone's connected, and just because you see it with someone that doesn't play a significant role in your life, who knows, they might step up and be that significant role, you know. So it's just funny, like, A, listen to your intuition and your gut and don't second guess yourself, and B, if you see signs, like, try to figure it out, but don't push yourself to figure it out like I did. Just kind of like let it go with the flow and look at the people, because they're connected. It's all intertwined. So it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Just as the fireworks go crazy.
I know.
Why would I say all that? It's like,
Fabulous.
Cool. So in
That's a great show ender right there.
Yeah. To all of you that are celebrating your 4th of July, happy 4th of July. Here you go. Here's the bang, 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 bang. Oh my God, that's funny. And let's see if we could let the space. It's going to stop in a minute, and then I'll continue to talk. There, it stopped. Thank you.
Yes, I was like, I'm having a hard time hearing her.
I know. I knew it was going to come to an end soon. So in closing, what we'll say is that if you want to get a reading with Wings of Topaz or Cloud Song, they're amazing readers. You can find them on Oranum. Eventually, I've been talking to both of them about creating their own website, and once they do, I will refer you to them there. But what I'll do is, in the meantime, Oranum.com, it's easy to find on the internet, and it's a live interactive video website where you actually have a free chat where you can meet these two ladies and talk to them and have readings with them. They're amazing. So I want to definitely...
As are you. You're simply brilliant.
Thank you.
Yes.
I want to support you guys in that. Totally. Having
Thank you
new
so
people,
very much.
Yeah, come and listen to you and get readings from you guys. And I want to thank all of the cicada beings, all of the beings that were here at the show tonight. I want to thank you
The
for
fae, the angels, all of them.
Yeah, the fae, the fairy kingdom, the divas of the
Our
planet.
personal guides,
Yes.
our ancestry.
Everybody for coming here, and I want to thank you guys for being such great, beautiful friends of mine, like bestie friends. Yeah.
Thank you.
I would do anything for you.
I would too, for both of you. And one of these days we'll finally get to see each other in person. That would be so awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So.
And that energy is going to be a little bit... I don't even know what to call it.
It's going to be
Amazing.
pretty amazing. So what I
We
want to
might
like...
start a
What's
thing.
that?
We might start a natural quantum
Yeah.
energy field.
Yeah, totally.
The paradigms are going to start shifting seriously.
Definitely. They already are. How about they already are? So, I want to create like a lot of abundance for both of you and a lot of like joy and happiness, and you're definitely on the right track, to self-realization. Because the journey is not about what's outside of you, it's what's within you, and that's why all the sacred texts talk about going within, which is the main thing that both of you spoke about today. To
Yes.
stop looking outside of yourself for happiness. You're not going to find it there. You're looking in the wrong direction. So I'll close the show with that. Start looking within inside of you. And start loving yourself, like the exercise that you shared about looking in the mirror and dressing up the way you love to dress, and putting them, for the women or the gay men or the transsexuals, they want to put makeup on, whatever makes you happy. We love all of you equally, and to start really loving yourself and really attending to yourself first. Primary relationship is with your soul and yourself. Secondary is everybody else. That is the key. The key to your joy, not your happiness. Okay? Happiness is temporary. Joy is permanent. If you come from that place of inner love and coming from that place of knowing that you're sustained inside of yourself primarily, and your connection to your soul, that's what's going to sustain you, and that's what's going to bring your abundance in. It's not the outer world that's going to bring it. It's your inner world that you create, like we did in the quantum field, and then it gets reflected back to you. It's actually like again, the universe, the earth reflects that back to you, and the people that show up in your life, the abundance that comes into your life, all the things that come around in your life that show you, basically they're your guideposts of where you are in an emotional, mental, physical state with the universe and with this earth. So if good things start to come to you guys, it is because you are already that inside of yourself. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So if you're not that inside of yourselves yet, then you got homework to do. You got work to do. And all that the world's doing is reflecting it back to you and saying, you know what, you need to fine-tune this or fine-tune that. And then all of a sudden you'll see all this beautiful abundance start to come into you. And there is going to be a place in you that you're going to find that's going to go, that's too much abundance. I don't deserve that much abundance. So then it'll recede back. And that's, again, that, like I said, it's like biofeedback. it'll literally feed you information about where you are and what aspects of you need some work so that you can transmute that, so you can become absolutely abundant, in a relationship with somebody else, or financially speaking, so that your business starts to flourish again. Cloud.
Absolutely.
Whether it's
Absolutely.
on Uranum, or whether it's your other businesses that you have, because we all have multiple businesses. For Wings, she's also on Uranum, but she's also going to be this social networking specialist that she's going to school for and getting her degree on. So, I wish all of you both all the abundance, and all that beautiful.
I wish the same for you.
Thank you.
You and Chris both.
Thanks. That's happening. That's definitely happening. That's a good guidepost for all of us, to get that feeling or that expression of it. So with that, next week, we'll see who I invite in as a guest. Maybe you guys again, or maybe, who knows? We'll do another show next week. And next
I will make time for you.
Yeah, good.
Always.
Next week, I'm going to have a 4-hour beginner's intuitive class, where I'm going to be teaching people and getting them in touch with their intuition and getting them on whatever area they want to work on, whether it's looking with their inner eye, or hearing with their inner ear, or feeling with their inner feelings, or sensing with their inner smell. So I'm going to be doing a 4-hour class this next Saturday, the 11th. That's going to be from 1 o'clock to, I think, 1 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and afterwards I'll be doing my show. So thank you very much for showing up. You can go to sonicnova.net, and there you can check out my website and what we have to offer there. And if you want a reading, of course, Cloud or Wings, they're amazing people and amazing readers and my bestest friends. And I hope to see you guys on the next show. Thank you for joining us today. It was great having everybody here. And with that, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to play one more thing for you guys, and then we're going to close the show, so people get to see the whole thing here. So with that, we're going to close the show, and thank you for coming. Thank you guys. And I'm going to play this from a wise being that's 800 years old.
Difficult to see. Always in motion is the future.
So he said, difficult to see. Always in motion is the future. And then the other thing that I want to play for you before I close is this one, which is from Dune, and it's about fear being the little killer, and how he overcomes it. And it's the same thing for you guys.
I love fear. Fear is the mind killer, and fear is the devil that brings total liberation.
Okay, so he said, fear is the mind killer, and liberation from fear is the total liberation. So, with that, we're going to patch in the last part of the show. Thanks for coming and showing up, and we'll see you next week.
This radio show is a live, interactive internet radio show where we explore our multidimensional, true and divine nature. Here is where we enlighten and brighten your lives with all sorts of amazing, inspirational, and eye-opening information, from the occult to the extraordinary.